It's a familiar sight of one or two slumped shoulders, and Man United and their fans know there is so much work for them to do to get back up to the top of the tree in terms of European and even British football. The turnout has been good. United, as a PR exercise, this has been an excellent visit to Malaysia. They've done everything right. They were meeting and greeting the crowds yesterday in Kuala Lumpur city centre. They had an open training session that was well attended, and 72,000 people have paid good money to come and see them here. But are the next generation of football fans following Manchester United, as the 40-year-olds and the 50-year-olds avidly do? That is something that the next 5 or 10 years will tell. United, they go to Hong Kong for a match against the Hong Kong national team on Friday night, and they go on the back of a 1-0 defeat against the ASEAN All-Stars, the only goal being scored by Bruno and Ruben. It's a desultory trudge around the pitch for Manchester United. The cheers aren't exactly there. There were boos at the end of the game, but it's been a good opportunity for their academy players to play alongside the more established international stars. As for Bruno Fernandes, those Al Hilal rumours do not go away. It's a huge responsibility to play for Manchester United. As for the ASEAN All-Stars, well, nothing but credit for them. They came together, a disparate group with different languages. But Kim Kan-sik, the Vietnamese coach, got them together. I was at the Arena yesterday to see how they went through their paces, and they looked organised. There was a back three. That was definitely what they were going to do, and tried to keep it tight, and they defended 5-4-1. But they also had a little bit of pace and a little bit of creativity when they went forward. And in the first half, Sandro Reyes forced a decent save from Andre Onana, and in the second, Adrian Segasic released Mong Wong Grin, and ASEAN All-Stars have got themselves a famous victory. For Tom Heaton and Johnny Evans, they are two old hands at United in their second spells at the club. They were here when the trophies and the championships were being won year on year. Johnny Evans for certain will be leaving. Christian Eriksen, an absentee here, he'll be leaving. Is Casemiro part of the new plan for United next year? If it is a consolation, they'll have no European distractions for their league campaign. But plenty for Ruben Amorim to think about. He came into a difficult situation in November when he took over from Ten Hag, unbeaten in the first 3 matches, but he warned of problems ahead then, and those problems certainly have emerged, and he's wearing a very pensive look on a steamy, sultry night in Kuala Lumpur at the end of May. Tom Heaton, a hard-working third-choice goalkeeper. It's a great shot. United patiently awaiting the trophy presentation, patiently awaiting picking up their memento of a trip here. Bruno Fernandes continues to do terrific PR work with the players as the Thai boys, Patiwat and Wadachit, look for a selfie with Bruno Fernandes. Those two are international players. That just tells you the regard upon which the United players and particularly the likes of Bruno Fernandes are held. Manchester United on the crest. If he is going to take positives, he's seen some of the academy boys. Saw Shea Lacey put in some decent work. He saw some terrific work from Jim Thwaites to save an almost certain goal right at the end. But there are precious few other positives he can take from this. And how about that? It's the Vietnamese and it's the All-Stars who are the stars. Do Man, the number 2 for Vietnam. He'll be part of a Vietnamese team who come to Malaysia to take on Malaysia in a huge Asian Cup qualifying match on June the 10th. Right, we prepare for the presentation. And they're VIPs or the VVIPs making the most of an ASEAN summit being in town. There's the rather handsome trophy. I wonder which mantelpiece that goes on to. Players from Australia and Vietnam and Indonesia and Timor-Leste and Cambodia and Singapore and Malaysia, of course, and Thailand. And every player played an important role. Mario, the sports minister, and Anwar Ibrahim, the Prime Minister of Malaysia, alongside former FAM President and FIFA representative Dato' Kamadin, coming down to hand out the trophies. And also the president of the ASEAN Football Federation from Cambodia, Samet, and the Manchester United CEO, Omar Barreda, towards the right of that line. The end of a long campaign. And one more journey. One more match to go for Manchester United. And then the planning starts for real for next season. But for these boys, this is a night to remember. Thrown together as a disparate group, multilingual, but put into a very disciplined, organised formation, and they just made it very difficult for Man United. Yes, there were moments. Yes, the save on the line by Harrison Delbridge to deny Kobe Manu at the end of the first half. Around about 10,000 of the 72,000 fans who are here have stayed on for this trophy presentation. Youngsters, well, what have they made of this? In an interview before the game, Andre Onana said that United were expecting a difficult challenge. It's proven to be exactly that. Bruno Fernandes leads the line. Shea Lacey goes through, and Harry Amas. It was a team littered with first team players and academy players. United will be asked, I'm sure, to do a team photo at the end with the ASEAN All-Stars. Jim Thwaites and Dan Armour, two of the academy boys, go through. Toby Collier, central midfielder who's had first team action already. And the giant, rather fearsome figure of Godwill Kokonki. Still only 17, Godwill. Alejandro Garnacho, is he part of the future? Rasmus Højlund came from Atalanta. Big things expected of him. Made in heaven. Another youngster. The one thing about this Manchester United side, they've got a ton of young players. But are they good enough to make the breakthrough to the top level? Under 17 Mali international Kone Dorgu, still only 20, played 20 times for the first team this year. Special word for Ruben Amorim. And a hug from his own CEO. Backroom staff who have a humongous job on their hands. It's a very different mood for the men in blue. The ASEAN All-Stars. Sergio Aguero, who's made Malaysia his home. He's the man who leads them. Reluctantly, leaves that to João Pedro Mongonglin, the scorer of the winning goal. That's something to take back home. In a township just outside of Yangon. I can tell you the non-Man United fans in Myanmar will be thrilled to bits. João Pedro from Timor-Leste, Kakang, solid performance when he came on. Aguinaldo, a big battle against Harry Maguire. Reyes, based in Germany, looks a real find. Malik Rizaldi came on the right-hand side in the latter stages and held well. Koulibaly and Hai Long, very impressive opening 25 minutes from those two boys. The young Australians coming through. Adamson as right wing back, and Segasic in particular. His assist. Batiwata clean sheet for 80 minutes. Sergio Aguero waits at the end of the line. He will be lifting this trophy. Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar and Hanayo. Azam Azmi boy in Terengganu. Adi Brawap, a Penang boy himself. And we're very happy to hand over that medal. Dwy Man, he'll be back here for the Asia Cup match. Warachit, Nitari, Hazik Nadli, important catch at the end. Delbridge, a tower of strength defensively. The Incheon-based Australian. Ben Davis. Alongside Delbridge. Kim Sang-sik, what a job he's done organising this group of players. He had withdrawals of key personnel and was still able to put together a squad good enough to beat Manchester United. Admittedly, not United's strongest team, but they were wearing the red, they were wearing the badge. Wait for Aguero. Not a popular name for Manchester United. They thought their Aguero nightmare was 13 years ago. Here's another, not quite as massive as that last-minute winner from Sergio Aguero that won Man City the title when United were celebrating in Sunderland. But Aguero on the back. Sorry, United fans. Ushered off the stage, are ushered back on to pick up the prize. The Maybank Challenge Cup for 2025, against all odds, belongs to the ASEAN All-Stars. Celebrations galore, and for one man in particular. Imagine the celebrations going on for Yaya Dukuli, a refugee from Guinea, now playing professional football in Australia, and on the field in a team that beats Manchester United. To the Cambodians and to the Filipinos, Sandro Reyes and Aguinaldo, they're all looking for their moments to make it to the national press. Okay, let's get some reaction from Manchester United. We're talking to Bruno Fernandes.
All right, here with Bruno Fernandes. First of all, commiseration on the loss here today, narrow defeat to ASEAN All-Stars. What's your take on the game? What did your side struggle with here today that perhaps was a bit harder than you'd expected?
Oh, we expected a hard game against them. We know there is a lot of talent here in Asia, so we were not expecting to have an easy game. It's a game where we come here for our fans, for them to see us from a little bit closer. Obviously, we brought a lot of young kids to play for us, also for them to show their qualities. And I think the game is more for the fans to see us, to enjoy it, and for us also to feel their love.
Are you surprised at the turnout here today? Almost full stadium, the cheering of the chants so loud, even to the youngsters as well, and particularly to Andre Onana, who obviously, as you know, has faced criticism this season. Are you surprised at the support you've come and received here at Bukit Jalil Stadium?
Oh, we know that our support is worldwide, that the club is massive, that is it's a club that everywhere we go we have massive fans, a massive fan base, so we were expecting that.
Any thoughts about some of the young players that have been given opportunities here today? How pleased are you for them to get the opportunities, the minutes on the pitch, and also to experience a completely different atmosphere here as well?
Oh, they've been training with us. They're players that had been already involved with us, so we know what to expect from them. It's a good experience for them to come out and have the opportunity to play for the club in Malaysia in this case. So I think it's very nice for them to enjoy the moment.
All right, brilliant. Thank you, Bruno. All the best for the rest of the tour. Thank you.
Bruno Fernandes with a very sensible summary of what this was all about. And more reaction from the Manchester United camp. The defeated coach, Ruben Amorim.
After the defeat to the ASEAN All-Stars, commiseration on the loss first and foremost. Perhaps a tougher game that you'd expect. What's your personal assessment of what happened across the 90 minutes?
No, we were expecting a good game, intense game in these conditions. But the good thing is that we didn't have injuries. We saw young kids, and they won. So we should perform better and win these kind of games. But that can happen.
Well, speaking of young kids, we saw the likes of Sekou Kone coming on in that first half, and he looks really promising. What's the likelihood of seeing him with more minutes next season?
Yeah, we had to control the minutes of everybody. He will play more in the next game. On Friday, he did quite well. But all the young kids try. That is the most important thing.
Can I ask about the ASEAN players here today as well, who put up a really good fight for that victory? Any of the ASEAN players impressed you or caught your eye here today?
It's hard to see that in the game in the postseason. They did really well. They were really well defensively. I think Sergio Aguero is a good player. He controlled the midfielder quite well. So good players. That's normal, and they deserve it.
Can I ask you, there are reports that Matheus Cunha might be joining Manchester United soon. Anything you can tell us?
No. Let's focus on finish the season, and then we'll see.
How much are you actually involved when it comes to transfers in the club?
I'm the manager, so I'm totally involved.
All right, brilliant. Thank you so much, Ruben. All the best for the rest of the tour.
Nice try, Michelle. Trying to get a scoop from Ruben Amorim. Again, Manchester United, they knew what the job was here. They knew they had to come and say hello to their fans. They will hope that they can build on, well, they will hope they can improve on this season next year. But the real story about this is ASEAN All-Stars scoring a victory over Manchester United. Mong Mong Ruin with a 71st minute winner. It is a famous victory for the ASEAN All-Stars. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage here from Bukit Jalil. The Maybank Challenge Cup, remarkably, goes to the All-Stars.